Hello friends, and welcome to The Pieman is Watching. This is the third installment in my series of commentations. Now I feel in my other videos I didn't give as much energy as I probably could have. I feel that it was subpar and substandard. I will leave the videos up, maybe even for a comparison later in the comments. But right now I feel like I can do better. So why don't we try this game to maybe throw up a little bit more energy, a little more pizzazz, and see what we can't do. And maybe even more focus. To be completely honest, I felt a little scattered. But right now we have a low elo play, not exactly the lowest, but about mid-level, with a blue team over here. Has a Wukong, Soraka, Teemo, Lux, and Rammus. Well, the purple team is holding on to another Teemo, so duo Teemos this game, with a Katarina, Morgana, Mundo, and Kennen. Now, I couldn't say for the purple team, that's pretty AP heavy, unless the Kennen does go AD, and unless the Teemo does go AD, it won't be that bad, and it'll actually balance out. Where this team is seeing it about the same, I want to say, even, the Teemo would have to go AD, in my opinion. He could go either way. That team kind of lacks in damage, but that's not important. There's no jugglers on this game, so the lane comps can go either way. We're going to have a look-see here and see how that pans out for us. Alright, loading up the game. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look-see here. Wow. New skin, actually, on the Rammus for the blue team. I personally like the skin. The effects are pretty good. If I have to say anything for Riot right now, they have definitely come and gone above and beyond the skin creation currently for champions. The only skin I'm really lately that's come out in my recent memory that I was kind of disappointed with merely because it was a legendary was actually Gatekeeper Galio. And tell me what you think of that skin. To me it seems like it's not a legendary quality skin. It seems to just be a standard quality. But that's my personal opinion. If any of you have a different one, please let me know. I'd love to hear the opinions of the people, as I am a for the people, by the people kind of caster. I'd like to get that feel, that understanding how my player base sits, how my community and my viewers think about Riot and their current skin selection. So far, I have been impressed with every skin that's come out, minus Gatekeeper Galio skin. All the others have been top-notch stuff. Some of them have almost been legendary status in their regular skins, which makes me wonder anything after Pulsefire Ezreal could possibly be one of the most incredible legendaries we're probably going to see for a while. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Battlecast Prime Cho'Gath was a legendary skin. Don't quote me on that, but you can check it. Leave a comment below and tell me if I'm wrong. Or I might just find out later, but leave a comment anyway. Wouldn't hurt anyone, right? We have a bit of a loading time here. Tell you what, that's interesting names if you're reading these. Not gonna lie. I'll be waiting here. I'd also like to remind you that this is definitely player controlled. My viewer base, my subscribers, my watchers, my commentators control how these videos go. So if you don't comment, if you don't tell me how to take my videos in the right direction, if you don't tell me what games to cover, I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm not going to know how to cover that properly. So please allow me to assist you by helping me. We're helping each other. That kind of thing. Well, anyway, let's get into the game. We have items starting to be bought about 12 seconds in. Standard items, a solo top Wukong. I'm not sure, but I don't agree with the Doran's Blade for solo top. It doesn't seem like that would be the best decision. I think a regrowth probably be best. Regrowth with a health pot. Actually, what this Mundo has took right here. That would probably be a better option for solo top, but I'm not going to argue with him. That's his playstyle. That's how he's going to work it. Soraka actually going boots, 2 healths and a mana. That's an interesting choice. Teemo's going boots and pots. I think that's only 2 pots there, Teemo. It is. He forgot to buy a pot unless he decided to save gold. Rammus takes cloth armor and 5 pots. And Teemo, our AD. I didn't actually check the blue team's Teemo. He is going AP, so we have an AP Teemo, Wukong, regular support Soraka, regular Lux, and regular Rammus, minor AP rune. Heavy armor. Of course, that does a little bit contribute to the cloth armor he purchased. I can't check how much he has in bonus armor, but it's probably a pretty decent amount. So it's an AD and an AP bottom. AP Kennen, AD Teemo. Mid will be versus Lux v Morgana. Pretty, to be honest, very similar heroes, at least in abilities. We have some action going on top and bottom lane. We might have the first blood go on this Kennen. No, the heal does go out. Katarina's low. She does not need to be there right now. Mundo just needs to just get out. He doesn't need to be there. Looking low. We have ignites. First blood going to Wukong. That was a simultaneous trade. That was quite impressive. And Soraka almost picking off our friendly Mundo. That was impressive. I don't know. Personally, I feel like the Katarina had the kill first, but the tower shot didn't come in. Maybe about a second late, half a second at most. To be completely honest. On the mid lane, we have a missing action. No, that's just Mundo throwing cleavers. My mistake. Soraka's looking to get a kill here. She might be taking a little bit too much damage from that tower. 2 shots, put her to about half. Let's go back to the bottom lane. Nothing's really going on down here. The two Teemos are... purple Teemo is a little bit lower. Kennen's trying to throw some down some poke, while Rammus and Teemo are just sharing farm. Farm in the mid lane is 4-7. Morgana is definitely leading in farm by a slight amount. Mundo will be teleporting back. Wukong is going to attempt, and Katarina actually chooses to try to poke back, which cost her more HP than she needed to give. She didn't need to pop that particular abilities to try to trade with Wukong. His damage early is really high, or hers. It takes him about mid-game, or maybe a couple feet. She does have quite a bit of AP, so I can't say that. The Shunpo did get an AP reduction, but a base damage increase, which is all well and good. Let's go back to the bottom lane. It seems like the blue team's Teemo and/or Rammus is really poking at the purple team, Teemo and Kennen. It's the wave here is going to push them backs. But Teemo is going to sit in the bush. Kennen's going to try to throw down some poke, but it's just not going to work out for him. Here's that Wukong. He's diving on the Mundo here. Katarina is choosing to go on this. Soraka is taking a tower shot, and she's very low on HP. Not HP, but mana. Wukong is the one low on HP. And here comes Katarina. She's trying to get some poke damage in. Or not poke, but rather trade damage with that Sinister Steel. Katarina recently had a rework for her W. Her W is now given to her Shunpo. Her W is now given the passive. It was an active and a passive ability. Passive attack damage, and looking at some damage here. Might be seeing a dead Wukong. That is a dead Wukong. That is 2 kills for the Katarina. 2 kills, 1 death. Wukong did manage to pick off first blood. Mundo's cleaver. Here's a double kill for the Katarina. That is a big pickup. Early game feed on a character like Katarina would actually be terrible for the blue team. Her damage right now is incredibly high. When she does manage to get items, when she does manage to get farm, she will be destroying this lane. But we have to go back to the bottom where Teemo is getting dangerously low, and the enemy Teemo is still sitting pretty in that bush. He's really not bothering anyone, just coming out every now and then to farm. Decides to put some poke damage, but wow, Kennen's damage is undeniable. Kennen only did 2 abilities there. I don't think he did land the Shuriken, which means that was a heavy amount of damage. His AP, I believe, was rather high, 48 with a tome. It's not that bad. Teemo's his AD seems rather low. That's okay. It's only a pub match, remember. It's Rammus here. He's being very effective at being Rammus. Kennen's really trying to throw down some poke damage. We're going to go back top here, have a see what's going on. We got a ward in the bush by the purple team here. That'll stop the Wukong poke advantage. He tried to stealth through that. That is not actually canceled. This is not how Dota works, Dota and Han, where stealth cancels projectiles in the on target. It does not work like that in this game. Katarina choosing to go in on this. She's going to get silenced and thrown back. Well, Mundo's going to throw down some poke damage with the cleavers. We're going to go back to bottom lane and check on the Teemo and Rammus and Kennen combos here. Rammus is hitting pretty. So is this blue Teemo. Blue team down here on bottom lane is definitely starting to hold their advantage. While top lane, it could go either way. Wukong has decided to dive. He does use the clone to get out. He might not make it. The Shunpo could come off cooldown at any second. He has the bouncing blades and the Sinister Steel, but no, chooses not to use it. And gonna throw the bouncing blade at Soraka instead, not doing an effective amount of damage. Mundo should be throwing his cleavers, trying to whittle down Soraka's HP for the possibility of a tower dive. They are both almost level 6. I apologize, they just at level 5. Mundo is almost 6. But throwing those cleavers for the extra poke damage would not be the worst of decisions right now. But we're going to go back bottom lane where Rammus was looking to make a play but didn't have anything happen. So, seems like they're evening up. Wait, we have action in the top lane. Looking like there is an official tower dive, but there's the heal. Just not going to make it. It's going to be alright. Wait, Morgana looking low. Lux low on mana. She has enough for one ability. I'm sorry, I did miss the kill in the top lane. It wasn't a successful tower dive on the Soraka, but it does look like, yes, she will go down. The shutdown gold will go to Wukong. That's a shutdown gold is when everyone has a killing spree. She was currently on a rampage, which means she was worth quite a bit. 404 gold is going to be able to build an item a little faster. That's an extra amount of gold. He's currently sitting at 629 gold. He has an interesting item build. He did end up buying his boots and his null magic mantle with some pots. The mana pot I don't know if is necessary on Wukong. He does have a Soraka support in lane. If she was leveling her infuse properly, which she has a level in it. She's leveling her heal first, as you should. But she can always keep him semi-topped off with just a little bit of mana regen, like a Philo Stone. For Wukong would not hurt his game at all. Mid here, Morgana's just doing what Morgana does best by pushing everything and all the things. It looks like bottom lane. The push is slowly favoring purple, but I'm not quite sure on how the lane itself is going. It seems like Teemo is just not getting any farm, and Rammus is really destroying the farming situation here. While on the other side, it's quite the opposite. Where Teemo is the one getting farm, and the Kennen is not. Kennen is choosing to do poke damage and throw down some abilities, and not really kind of the passive-aggressive farm, while Teemo gets the more aggressive farm. You have retreat pings going back. Mundo and Katarina both very low, while Wukong and Soraka are sitting pretty. Wukong is at about half, but he has potions and Soraka heals, ready to pull him back up to full when necessary. She's about halfway to 6, and Wukong is 6. He does have his ultimate. This is dangerous. Could be a tower dive incoming. Looks like he is. There's the ultimate pop. Mundo popped his ultimate late. He should have seen it coming, and he will be going down. No! The flash canceled it. Unnecessary ultio from Soraka, but the bottom lane looking like they might try to do something. Could be some action in the bottom lane. Double Teemo mushrooms. Act as wards. But that was a complete outplay by the Wukong here. The Mundo should have seen that coming. He should have popped his ultimate long before. He saw Wukong advancing. The ultimate could have just been popped. There was, oh wait, we have action down in the bottom lane. We got Kennen ulti going down. He's not doing much damage. They did manage to take almost all of Teemo. Teemo, why didn't you auto-attack? You would have killed him. The purple team's Teemo has to retreat. Kennen has to retreat. Rammus is just as low, but Teemo is also low. So it was a pretty fair trade. The top tower does go down in that exchange. Bottom was busy team fighting. We did have a top tower taken, which means purple team's top lane effectively lost the laning phase, and it's going to be a tough comeback for the rest of the game. Morgana and Lux seem to kind of be at a stalemate. The farm is definitely Morgana's advantage, which, to be honest, is kind of expected. Her ability to farm is much greater than that of Lux. Early game, her pool is very strong. Her Q is also really good. Last hitting, it one-shots most caster minions. Now, it seems like Lux, I'm not quite sure if she knows how to either play Lux or she was just throwing that for the extra sight radius, but you can pop that early. You don't have to let it go all the way out. Excuse me, I have a little bit of hiccups here. You don't have to let it go all the way out. It can be popped early for some extra burst damage. Lux is a crazy burst on her, if played correctly. I do not agree with this Kennen. He does not have any heal. His heal is down. He has no spell vamp, no lifesteal. Looks like Morgana was looking to do some damage to Lux here. Lux is, I'm not sure what she's doing. She's really passive. Oh, we have that action in the top lane. Katarina looks very dead. All Wukong has to do is walk back over and dash elusive strike into a Nimbus strike into a crushing blow, and that'll actually be the end of Katarina. She might get a kill on this Soraka, however. If Wukong's not careful, he will die to this Katarina. Oh, he's choosing the smart route. He does! She does get it. He does not wait long enough for the stealth. He decides to stealth about right here. The stealth only lasts, I will make sure on this. Ooh, Lux ulti, barely missing. The decoy only lasts 1.5 seconds. If he'd have waited till about right here, he would have killed her. She wouldn't have had sight in time. Even if she started to walk down, his ability range would be too high. She's going to get out unscathed, though Lux did miss that ultimate. Very low cooldown on that ultimate, mind you, and she'll probably build cooldown reduction. We have to go back bottom lane. I've been neglecting the other lanes. Morgana is still leading at farm on the Lux. A little bit. I'm not quite understanding it. Maybe the Lux isn't familiar with her character. She seemed to know how to use it, but I don't know if she knows all the ins and outs of Lux. She's not complicated as a character. She's really simple, very skill shot, very position-based character. Not exactly complicated, but effective play with her can be a bit of a higher level. We're looking at a gank here, bottom lane. There's a mushroom. He hasn't triggered it yet, but he is standing on top of it, which means Teemo has complete sight on him. These little mushrooms here, they give sight. It's not a lot of sight, but it is sight in general. Let's see if I can switch here. See how the purple team. You see how the Teemo mushroom gives sight around it. He hasn't popped it, so it's still there. They can't see these, by the way. These are invisible. Here we go. Teemo's just stealth. He's chilling right there. Chilling like a villain. Alright. Oh, Wukong chooses to... Oh, the damage. Wukong utterly destroyed Teemo. I don't know what Teemo was thinking right there. Trying to go in on a Wukong like that. Wukong has a lot of damage, and Wukong is rather fed from top lane, not performing effectively. But it looks like the Soraka might be safe solely from this Katarina not playing effectively. I don't know if she used the ultimate. She did, which means her damage must have been nulled by either an infused silence or just a lack of damage. Looks like we have Wukong trying to head back up top. He's currently going to farm out the mid lane while Lux is just standing around. Not sure what she's doing. Looks like Rammus and Teemo are really trying to take out this tower. Got the Rammus ulti going down. That is a lot of damage on towers. It actually hits them for full damage. And it's quite a bit. Plus auto attacks. That can really take out a tower very, very quickly. Rammus is low. If Cannon had decided to initiate on that, he might have been able to save the tower. And also possibly get a kill on Rammus. The light binding, I'm not sure where it went for Lux there. I don't know if she missed through it, or maybe she was turning around and decided to cancel but clicked anyway. Okay, she does know how to pop it early. That's good. It's always good to know that she doesn't understand that portion of her ability. Okay, so apparently he was DC'd. It wasn't his... that kill wasn't necessarily his fault. He was DC'd, so that's always good to know. Rammus, what are you doing? Cannon, do work here. He's going to taunt him. There's the ultimate. Got a Katarina coming down. He got a flash from Rammus. He's popped the ulti. She will get him. She will get him, and she's going to go for the Teemo. She has the Teemo, but Teemo will take out Cannon with that Teemo mushroom. Those mushrooms do quite a bit of damage, magical damage there. Right now, Teemo's only level 1, so that mushroom's going to do over 200 plus damage. But reminder that this Teemo is going AP, which means his mushrooms are going to be much, much higher. We have a Morgana. She's looking to find this Wukong. Can she land the Dark Binding? I don't think she's going to try it. Nope, she's just looking to scout it out. He's going to go ahead and just try to get that blue buff, perhaps. I'm not sure. Yep, there he goes. All right, blue buff started. It's a buff that actually reduces cooldowns and increases mana cost. If Dark Binding going down, and here's the ultimate on Katarina and on Morgana. That was a complete melting of the Lux. She did not have a chance really of getting away from that. Morgana is just kind of chilling with the farm down bottom. That Star Call ability, it gets stronger the more she uses it. It cuts magic resist. Makes her a very potent character. She is a support-based character, but she can be played as an AP carry. It is possible. It's not unheard of. Her heals are still very, very strong. Maybe the cooldown reduction is lacking. But that is a dead Wukong. I don't see him getting away. Well, never mind. The ulti flash combo is definitely enough for him to get away. And he managed to do decent damage to the 3 enemy heroes that he decided to dive up to. Rammus, you're spotted. You got to go in on this, Rammus. Better spell shield that Morgana. No, she decides to flash. Seems like Rammus could have landed that taunt on Kennen when he was that close. And the range on it isn't exactly small, so he probably still could have landed that. Purple lane top is pushing against blue. Someone needs to come defend this. This is getting a bit unruly. These caster minions are really going to tear into these little guys. The tank minion isn't getting focused. He's about a hit away from dying, which is all it would take, and that would actually turn the tide of this battle quite a bit. And there he goes. That goes down. But Rammus is here to defend. So is Wukong. You have action in the mid lane. Woo! Kennen getting dangerously low. The Mundo ulti is popped. Soraka's looking for blood. She's a bit low on mana. The Mundo Cleaver hit a minion instead to take out the minion. Kennen is back at base. Katarina's on the way. Teemo's placing shrooms all over. He's warding effectively, actually. That's not bad shroom placement. Lux is just kind of throwing abilities, while Soraka is actually out of mana. If they chose to teamfight this, honestly, they might have the damage for it. Blue team is pushing the top lane, and they are up by towers, by 1 tower, but they are down by 3 kills, which is currently giving the purple team the gold advantage. If they were to even up the kills, they would definitely be in the gold lead. Now, Mundo, that mushroom right there, in case you're wondering how Mundo could kill it, it was very close to the tower. It was within tower's sight range. So he could see that mushroom and he could kill it. That's how he got it. So don't be confused, like, hey, how did he do that? There's also an item to do that called Oracle's Elixir. It gives you true sight to where you can see everything, be it stealthed or the whatnot. Mundo is ghosting to top lane. He's going to try and get up there. This Wukong, he definitely tricked him a little bit right there, but Mundo is probably going to end up losing this fight. Well, no, he does manage to pop the ulti in time, and the exhaust wore off, and he heals himself back up to full. Gets out of there. Here comes the other team, though. Soraka's, actually, she's pretty good on mana. Oh, Lux has a clarity. That's why. She put her mana back up, which is also good, so the team fight might not have gone that bad, but Lux is looking to try to scout out that Lucent Singularity that actually does give sight range for everyone. Here we go. Team fight up top. Rammus popping the ulti into the taunt. He does flash out. Kennen is going to try to get away. He should use his lightning rush just to make sure he gets guaranteed safe distance. Going down the Lucent Singularity. If Lux had her ulti right now, Kennen could be in a world of trouble. The damage on that ulti is really high. It could potentially kill him. Here it's almost up. She's probably going to use it right here. Well, nope, she doesn't have really the option. Better watch out. She's backing off. Gets this. Oh, there's Mundo Cleaver. Is Katarina going to use the ultimate? Nope, just a spinning steel. Double light binding into the stun. There's the ulti. That's a lot of damage. They need to get out of there. They can't take that damage if Luxus lands one or more ability on them, or if Soraka or even Rammus come up to hit them and taunt them. That's pretty much going to be it. Katarina's looking for kills. Katarina gets blood. Rammus is spinning up. Mundo's ulti is back up, so he's going to be able to make it out of there no problem. Morgana popping the spell shield. She doesn't look so lucky. There she goes. Soraka does get taken out by the Katarina, and Rammus will follow. There he goes. Okay, man down. That is a effective 3-for-1 exchange on the top lane. Not the worst situation ever. Wukong is coming up. He's looking for revenge kills. See if he can't get anyone. He's not going to catch them. They will recall both out in time. He's going to choose to come back down. If Kennen gets spotted by this Wukong, it could be awful. I don't think his Kennen has the damage. Wukong went, interesting, straight for an Infinity Edge. That's a lot of attack damage. Makes him hit really hard, but I don't know about the utility purposes on that particular item choice of his. These mushrooms are actually stacked right next to each other, and they didn't pop them either way. 2 Teemos on a team can be very annoying, and Wukong does end up picking up Katarina, but it looks like Kennen's not... What? That was a complete whiff. And wow, Wukong completely juked him. Wait, Kennen might come back for it. Kennen might come back for it. Can Kennen manage it? Yes, he does, and he would have got him with the Shuriken just in case the auto attack didn't land, or he ended up canceling it on accident. Rammus is going to speed up. He's going to see if he can't catch this Kennen, who's trying to get away back to the safety of his tower. In mid lane, we got a Mundo versus a Lux. And a Teemo. Didn't even see him so tiny. There's the Lux Ultimate Finalis Funklin, or the Final Spark, as they've changed that name quite a few times. Mundo's burning away his HP. Needs to be careful. There he goes. That ultimate doing work. Doesn't have a Spirit Visage yet. That'll improve his ulti's ability by, what's it, 30% is the item? The Teemo mushroom was popped. This is an AD Teemo, so that mushroom will not do as much damage as it should. Well, no, I rephrase that. He's actually going hybrid Teemo. In my opinion, it is better to really pick one for Teemo. His hybrid damage can be strong, but it's very expensive build. He has to be well fed to get a very effective, I don't know, level out of it. The Finalis Funklin, its final spark, it's getting close. If she lands a couple of abilities and do a combo on it, and their team initiates, she can miss entirely and not have any kind of damage done at all, while blue team is kind of pushing this. Morgana is trying to duke it out via, oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing the action in the mid lane. We have Rammus ulti going out. This cannon's looking dangerous as well, getting kind of close to the enemy team. The Rammus ulti's going to wear off right about now. Morgana will go down to the Wukong on bottom lane here. And we have Kennen trying to do something here. I'm not sure what. It's Kennen and Teemo. Teemo is mildly safe, but if any kind of a heavy AoE goes down, he will die. Mundo's ulti is back up on a ridiculously low cooldown. That ability really is. That's a dead Teemo. I meant the blue Teemo, not the purple Teemo. I knew that Teemo. He didn't get the auto attack off. He just threw the dart, expecting it to kill him. But the cannon also gets away. Are you kidding me? This is some pretty crazy stuff. Lux Binding completely misses. I don't know what their team is trying to prove here. Rammus will probably be getting away because there's no catching a Rammus with a full power ball. They need to get out of there, though. Wukong is coming. Wukong's going to burst down that Mundo like it was nothing. Mundo needs to build some armor against this Wukong. He's building quite a bit of crit attack speed. I don't know. Katarina needs to jump to the Teemo, or chooses not to. Actually chooses to fight this. Teemo's going to go down. Lux is going to barely miss. Wukong will fall, which means Rammus should fall next. She needs sight on him, but she's not going to get it. These two are out of almost out of mana. The clarity is not up for another 30 seconds. There's the ulti heal from Soraka, and the regular heal as well. Rammus is looking to take her out. There he goes. Took her down. Kennen is looking to get some cleanup kills, but here comes the Teemo. I suggest Kennen gets out of there. This is lightning rush up. There he goes. Good call, but oh, Rammus out of mana to not be able to get that taunt. That taunt would have secured the kill for them, and just indefinitely. Mundo looking to protect his cannon. Purple lane's top is, oh man, that's a push. While bottom lane is also currently being pushed by Morgana. They're looking to gank her though. So I suggested that Morgana takes out that tower and gets out of dodge, or she just keeps trying something. But there's the Lux ulti. That was mild damage. She's not going to make it out. And here comes the light binding. Here comes Loosen Singularity. There's the dark binding into the dark pool. She does manage to shield both parts of that with her spell shield. Not her spell shield, but her regular little baton pass. Wukong is really decimating this match. I'm sorry, I'm missing things. Teemo decided to continue to chase the Morgana, and she did show him how it was done. She ended up using the ultimate on him, but it was a confirmed kill either way. Looking like this game might go to the purple team, but the bad team play choices right now may be different. The Mundo does end up taking out. Needs to turn off his burning. There we go. Burning Agony does drain his HP per second. This Teemo is going to look very dead right about now. Mainly to mushrooms. That's why Teemo mushrooms are so dangerous. You walk into bushes with the proper Teemo placement, and you're going to die to the mushroom poison merely because it's just too strong. And that Katarina is very dead. That Wukong damage is really high. Crit Wukong it's pretty ridiculous. Rammus is doing work right now. I don't know if we have it. There's the dark binding into the pool. He might end up saving it. Morgana doesn't manage to spell shield all of Lux's damage for the most part, minus the auto attack. A little bit of auto attack damage from Rammus. But that was an interesting exchange. It was a 2-for-1. Wukong does work. He's really starting to hit like a truck, and it looks like he might be going straight for the Trinity Force after his IE. It's a very open item. IE is the first one he built, and it's not survivable, which Wukong kind of needs, but he definitely shines right now on the damage output. He just eats through Katarina's HP pool. He eats through Teemo. He eats through Morgana. It's kind of a poke battle right now between the purple and blue team. Mundo and Teemo are just throwing down the pokage. Well, Kennen can also start to throw down some poke. Maybe even Katarina. Throwing down a little bit of the bouncing blades. Mundo looking for some cleaver damage. Wukong is here. Wukong is coming up. 207 AD. It's quite impressive. Mundo's going to get snagged by that final spark. And Wukong's choosing to go in on this. I don't know. I don't know what the purple team is thinking. They actually went in on his clone. Here we go. We need to have some action here. Purple team needs to turn this around. They need to have Morgana. They need to have Morgana sitting in lane with them. Oh, that Wukong. That flash on the Wukong was really high. I don't know if he's trying to do there. He's choosing to dive into the tower. If Morgana can get in there. Mundo's choosing to initiate. Mundo needs to pop that ultimate. They need to get in there. Morgana needs to pop her ultimate as well. Kennen needs to slow down some CC from his ulti. We have a Rammus ulti going down into the power ball. Mundo's ultimate's about to run out. He needs to get out of there. Katarina's going to jump in there and throw down her ulti. I don't know if Katarina's going to make it out in time. She chooses to flash. The ulti on Morgana completely misses everyone. That was a big cooldown right there. Big waste. Wow, that was a pretty impressive dodge. If a little higher, she would have managed to take out Teemo. Katarina's again looking for blood. I don't suggest going in on this 3. These are probably potentially the dangerous ones. Blue team is looking for surrender votes, but it did not go through. Let's see what we can do here. This Teemo is still warding it pretty effectively with his mushrooms in very high traffic areas for kiting. Good Teemos will like to kite you through their mushroom patches and throw some damage down, and when you feel like you're taking too much dot damage, you can always try to back out, but then they're just going to focus you back down, and then at that point you're kind of screwed because you can't fight them. You're too low on HP, and they're going to start doing too much damage. Now there are those occasions when you do too much damage to Teemo, and Teemo can't handle it, so he'll try to run away, place mushrooms in his escape path, and eventually, if you're not careful, you will start to be whittled down by the Teemo's damage. His poison is very strong. It's very strong on AP Teemo. This guy is definitely more hybrid. Definitely more hybrid. Whereas their Teemo areas, he's definitely when heavy AD attacks, AP attack speed. Sorry, the pickups are still there. All right, we have ammo going down. That ulti didn't do anything really. It barely hurt Mundo. Wukong is just really throwing it up right there. Mundo is looking for blood. I don't know what he's trying to prove. He needs to throw that cleaver. These hiccups needs to get another cleaver. Wukong is going to choose to juke it. Lux is a bad Lucent Singularity. Katarina is going to try to get out. I don't know. She might not make it. There's the power ball. Wait, nope. The Shumpo did come off cooldown. She'll be okay. She's going to make it out of there, no problem. Rammus could choose to tower dive this. She needs to keep running. She needs to get out of there. Soraka, you don't need to be there right now. That's not the best place to be. She's going to go down to that Katarina right there. Terrible, terrible decision. Katarina is quite fed at this point. I did miss the Teemo kill right here. Morgana looks like she did end up using the ultimate. That's just... She's sitting at 207 AP. That's a lot of damage. 305 on the Katarina. That's what I was talking about earlier in the game. We have Katarina. She's going to be a really strong carry. She's going to completely decimate if she gets any kind of farm, any kind of feed. Looks like we're going for a dragon. Actually, Teemo's trying to tank that, trying to tank it to take it, I guess. Here comes a team to support him. He was not going to take that by himself. But the Wukong's looking to try to steal the dragon. Teemo's not going to make it out of there if he keeps staying where he is. They're going to choose the chase, which is actually what I think he was trying to do, and he will die right there. No, the damage stops because the dragon did die. Really, in all honesty, that's a good mechanic and it's a bad one. It's a good one because it can save your life. It saved mine sometimes for turrets, and sometimes it's no good. And there's the ultimate. There's the AoE damage that we were looking for. I think Wukong's just looking to get out of there. Kennen does end up going down too. Teemo does end up managing to pick off Kennen. Wukong manages to pick off Morgana. They're going to get away. Mundo's going to get away. Katarina is not. Katarina is very dead. She's very dead, Katarina. She's actually going to run over another mushroom, which gives the kill up to Teemo. Mushroom kills alone in this game are sitting at 3. Purple is losing the top lane push and the bottom lane push. Both the blue lanes minions are pushing. That's a lot of cast. I want to kind of make a point here where caster minions are very, very strong. They're very weak, but they hit very hard and very fast. And there's a lot of them right now, which means that they're going to start eating through these lanes. Look at that damage on that little tank minion, just doesn't have a chance. We got some action mid. It's a Mundo 1v5. Not the best call for Mundo to be in right now. He kind of needs to get out of there. He doesn't need to be in there right now. Come on, get out of there, Mundo. Kennan's choosing to go in there with the ultimate. Not the best placement on Kennan's part. He chooses to get out of there. Wukong is going to come in there and just eat that Mundo for breakfast. Man, that was bad. Blue team is actually starting to turn this around merely because of pushing power and team fight advantage. Purple team has just chosen to go in completely unprepared with really one or two characters. And it's not enough. There's the kill. Let's see if we can't get a double. Not going to happen. Miramis is going to keep her out. Miramis is out of mana. He doesn't actually have enough for a taunt. She might be able to either get a kill or just get some heavy damage in. Oh, well. Oh, man. Nope. Teemo Mushroom for the kill. That'll be the fourth Teemo Mushroom kill this game. And Teemo is definitely putting him in high traffic places. Proper way. Cannon is finally starting to counter push, but blue team, their minion wave is really putting a pounding on this top turret. It has been almost completely unprotected by the purple team. The blue minions are just really coming through. Looks like Wukong was coming up to maybe help counter push it. I don't know what he was trying to prove by doing that stealth. He could have definitely walked up to about here in stealth. He might have made it a bit farther. But that stun's going to go off, and Morgana's probably going to get away. She's looking for kills. Mundo actually is probably going to pick it up. She needs to get out of there. She does not need to stay within range of that Nimbus strike. She does get managed. Mundo does manage to take out Wukong. That Nimbus strike into the crushing blow is instantaneous, and it is almost unblockable to get out of. It requires almost perfect timing to flash, or if you have the ability, the Zhonya's hourglass item to pop it at the right time, right as you see the Nimbus strike incoming. That'll continue the animation, but it'll cancel out the damage. That requires very good timing, and I don't think that's the kind of play is in this level. I don't think that play would ever happen in this current level of play we're watching right now. Ramus is choosing to initiate a 3v2. Nope, there is a Lux coming over the wall. Choosing to do some AoE damage over. Soraka does manage to silence out of that. I'm pretty sure Teemo's going to end up getting that kill on Cannon again from the poison. Katarina and Morgana need to get out of here. Mundo's choosing to come in there. I don't know what he's going to try to do. His team is not there. They're low on HP. They can't fight this. They can't do it. Soraka's heals are going to keep everyone at full. That's a pretty low Soraka, but there's the regular summoner heal. But she is picked off by that Katarina. That damage on Katarina right now is pretty high. Soraka did her job right before she died by basically topping everyone's HP pools back off. Teemo is going to end up defending this tower solely on the mushroom placement. Defending a tower with 3 mushrooms placed in the front is very strong. It keeps minion waves pushed for days. They can't really get in there. Lux is looking to do damage. It's not enough. The Teemo does disconnect for the 3rd time this match, 2nd time perhaps. Wukong was counter pushing bottom. Teemo mid mushroom up the dragon pit and this bush, but his mushroom placement is definitely nowhere near as effective as the blue team's Teemo. We have quite a bit of action going on to the later stages of the game. Trying to get some purple pings out here. They want to push the lanes, maybe have a couple people defend while the other 2 go out and push a lane. I'm telling you, Katarina and Cannon can get out there and really push that lane and keep the lane protected. So just a minor poke battle right here. Lux ulti going out. Remember, low cooldown on that Lux ulti. She can use that quite often in a fight, and she did not build any cooldown reduction system yet, but it's probably coming. Still, it's a base cooldown. It's very low. It's not the longest in the world. Katarina choosing to try to jump on that. Bad ulti timing on her part. Looks like we might end up having something here. Ramus looking to do work. Guardian Angels will pop on the Ramus. That'll bring him back up to 750 HP and 750 mana. Or not 400 mana. But he chooses to actually opt out, even though Soraka is here healing him almost to full. Purple team is losing their top tower to the Wukong, and the bottom tower will probably fall in the next couple seconds. This tower doesn't pick off enough of the minions. Wukong's looking for blood here. He's probably going to get it on this Katarina Nimbus Strike, and he's going to Crushing Blow. No, he chooses to opt out on the Mundo. He's not going to Crushing Blow him. Here comes the Teemo and Soraka. Lux in the follow lane, and Morgana is trying her best to defend the mid lane. Top lane is looking done. There's a Lux ult, as I said, that was not very long. It's currently sitting on a 37-second cooldown. This tower does survive with 77 HP. And the minions are not going to end up pushing. The purple minions don't have far to go, so they're actually starting to stack. And Morgana's here to help push it, but she needs to not be there, because here comes Wukong. And Teemo does reconnect right here. Wukong's looking to get some blue buff. That'll give him a lot of mana and cooldown reduction on his Q and Nimbus Strike and his clone. That's a hefty amount. That's a hefty amount of mana regen and cooldown reduction. 20% is nothing to snuff at, as is the buff for just the mana. It also does refresh energy, so if that was to go to anyone, then as an energy champion, that would also be good. It's not bad on mana and energy-less champions, resource-less champions. They don't have anything to power their abilities, they just use them. Like Katarina, for example, and Mundo. Mundo uses HP, and Katarina just doesn't use anything. But those two particular characters, they would still benefit from cooldown reduction. Mundo not quite as much as Katarina, even Katarina's abilities on kill or assist are reset by 15 seconds. That's a lot, by the way. Her ultimate only has 48-second cooldown. 15 seconds is pretty much a third of that. Katarina choosing not to help her friendly Morgana. But here comes Kennen, and here comes Mundo. I'm not sure, but the 2v3, 4v3, 4v2, my apologies, Katarina is actually gone. Wukong's looking for blood. He is looking for blood, but I don't know if he's going to get it. His Nimbus Strike is off cooldown. He could get in there. He could do some damage. Katarina, what are you doing? Gotta be careful. Ooh, Mundo does end up taking that for him. Wukong looking to get a kill here. He does end up... Katarina does go down to the Rammus. Wukong still looking for blood. Can he get it? He's going to go down to the turret. Actually, he's going to go down to Mundo, and even the turret didn't get the last hit on him. Looks like the... Teemo is trying to do work here, but Mundo is just being Mundo. Teemo does go down instantly. That was pretty ridiculous. This is my point. It was a more expensive route. This Teemo actually decided to forego damage entirely. Wait, I'm not clicking on Teemo. This Teemo decided to forego AD almost entirely and go straight for AP, which I think is a better idea. AD Teemo is very strong still, but hybrid is very expensive. And this Teemo has also gone again. The tower did end up picking off Rammus right there. Mundo did get the shutdown kill, which is pretty impressive. But Blue's top wave, wow, that needs to be stopped. As long as, and bottom, it's also pushed. This is just very one-sided lanes right now. They really need a split, which means if blue team had the option, they could push up the middle. It is technically a 4v5 since Teemo never seems to reconnect for very long. That's a big downside. Katarina is very fed. So is this Wukong. It's not quite as fed as the Katarina, but her damage right now, 468 AP. She could put a hurting on you. Her Q alone, it's 411 damage. Her mark bonus 75 plus 70. It's 145 damage. So right there, her Q her Q alone can do 500 damage. 550 damage. Here you go. Have fun with that. Sinister Steel actually has a AD ratio. She has 26 AD and 117 magic. So we're looking at 186 and then 117. My math is terrible. It's about 100 and what is it? 186, 117. That's 4 plus 1. It's 186. Wow. You know, I'm just not going to try because I'm going to make a fool of myself. I'm not focusing right now. I need to focus on the gameplay, not math, right? Wukong looking for blood. Does go down. She does actually manage to snag Rammus. Rammus is going to get caught in that stun. Would not have gone back in on that. She might die to the AoE, but nope, she chooses to flash. Morgana needs to stay out of that too. Katarina's going to pick it off, but the light binding from Lux does pick off the Katarina. That's a pretty big pickup kill. These two in conjunction could probably not kill Mundo. Mundo's a pretty beastly character, but here comes that Teemo. And Teemo can kill Mundo. That is not a challenge. Some bananas flying. That poison. That banana actually allowed the poison to finish him. banana. I mean, Soraka's auto attacks are little crescent moons. They kind of look like she's throwing bananas at people. This Mundo is taking no damage. He's mostly a magic resist Mundo, so it means his tower is going to eat him alive. And Cannon is Cannon, which means Cannon's not going to do anything at all. This Teemo now has a little bit of HP here. That Ionic Spark is a good item on Teemo. It's kind of a chain lightning on every was it third attack? Every third attack. Fourth attack, I'm sorry, every fourth attack it gives chain lightning. I wasn't familiar with the item. It's been a while since I looked up an Ionic Spark. Usually see that played more on the Twisted Fate character. He's one of his passive abilities, since he stacks up on the fourth attack, he has an empowered auto attack, which is with an Ionic Spark into a pick a card ability of his. It's very potent. It's very, very strong, which I would be concerned for the team who sees that. But we have a little bit of action. That's the ulti going down from the Wukong. It doesn't look like he's going to get out of there. No, he does go down to the Mundo. Mundo is definitely starting to pick up now. He's getting close to full built, and a full built Mundo is kind of a dead enemy team. The Rammus does have his Guardian Angel back up, which means he's going to be able to die and come back to life with a little bit of HP and a little bit of mana, but that might just be enough depending on how he goes down and what order. Popping a Guardian Angels it's a challenge because it's a Rammus, but it's trying to pop someone by killing them and then having to kill them almost a second time. It's pretty... Man, these hiccups are really killing me. It's pretty challenging. Soraka's going to keep healing. She's going to do her best. She has questionable item choice on double Shurelias. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work like that. Decent damage going out. That slow is going to actually cost Mundo a bit of HP. Rammus is looking for blood. Rammus will not find any. He's going to try to get in there. He's going to dodge the Dark Binding. They're going to have a little bit of a gathering for a team fight here. It's a 4v4. Right now, as Teemo is still DC'd and Wukong is actually not in the team fight, the purple team is opting for a Baron. Perhaps. I'm not. Actually, I don't approve of a Baron play right now. There are no mushrooms, there are no wards, there's nothing to give sight on the Baron Nashor. That's a 300 gold bonus, and that does not work on him, Kennen. It is a 300 gold bonus for the entire team and a massive buff. It gives 40 AD, 40 AP, massive HP regen. It's very strong. And Kennen barely survives that fight. He was sitting on top of it for no real reason. They're going to port back. I'm pretty sure Katarina has broken the 500 mark right there. It's pretty impressive. Purple team choosing to do Baron might actually lose this mid tower, which looks to be the case. They are engaging mid while Wukong is taking drag. They just now notice that the Baron is on the purple team. It's a lot of purple on that enemy team there, but Katarina's ultimate is just not hitting the proper target. She really needs to focus on the Teemo or the Lux or the Soraka with her ultimate. Soraka is actually starting to get pretty tanky. Has natural... There goes the Guardian Angel, but she has natural magic resist. Which is kind of why she doesn't do much damage, but Rammus is looking to do work here. Probably not the best idea to run into the Mundo, but he chooses not to hit her. So Rammus will actually get away after having his Guardian Angel popped. Teemo looking to do some poke damage maybe. They all decide to go for Teemo, that global taunt ability of his. Teemo is just outplaying them by kiting them through that mushroom. Taking pretty heavy damage. Mundo's just not caring right now and going where he pleases. Well, Wukong is pushing the bottom lane, does manage to take out that tower, I believe. And top lane is looking to do the same. It's actually already been sort of chipped at. Oh, Katarina is there. Bouncing blade into a Sinister Steel. There you go. That's the damage you can see out of AoE. Katarina, her ultimate does actually not touch minions. It is a champion only, much like Kennen's who used it on Baron, and it does not actually do any damage to Baron. It is a low cool. It is it's not low, but it is a medium cooldown ultimate. It's 111 seconds. It's decently long, but it doesn't usually feel that way. Team fights at this stage are going to be pretty spread out. The respawn timers are going to be very high. That is another bonus to having this kind of play. But we're going to see Morgana looking to give Katarina the red buff there. Where TP actually coming in from Soraka. She's going to teleport to lane, try to help Wukong defend that. Looking at a gathering though. Got Teemo's placing some mushroom traps. He's going to see if he can't get maybe some poke damage, maybe stop the minion wave, even some kills. He's probably jealous of the amount of kills the other enemy Teemo has. Rammus is looking to taunt something. There we go. Katarina. She isn't hitting the right targets though. Look at that chunks of damage. Just where's that Nimbus strike? It's off cooldown. Use it. There we go. He's got a high amount of crit, which is going to translate into him basically killing even Mundo here. Mundo built a lot of magic with this, but he did not build armor. The tankiest one right now would be a Madred's Trinity IE. This game looks pretty over for the purple team. That Wukong is really showing his true colors by coming out and taking down the enemy team one at a time. He is just decimating them. Their tank Mundo did not build armor. So far he's a lot of HP, but HP is not going to matter with the Madreds and the high crit chance like that. He should have built some armor. Anything would have worked at this point. A Sunfire is also a good choice. Looks like he might be going for another Sunfire, perhaps. It would be a very good decision. There's a lot of armor and decent HP for the Mundo. That's some damage. Lux is finally actually showing up in team fights now. Morgana, that's a pretty fat shield. She must have a good chunk of AP. Kennen and Teemo are defending the lane as best they can. Katarina is actually still down, and so is Mundo. He will be up with her relatively quickly, while Wukong is actually pushing the top lane. It's looking pretty south for the purple team. They're not. I don't think they're going to come back from this. They lost an inhibitor, and in this game, when you lose an inhibitor, these big guys spawn right here. See that big blue guy? Very tough to kill. They hit really hard on, especially squishy champions like Teemo. They're not going to hit Mundo for very much. Mundo's a tank after all, and he has a lot of HP, so they're not going to kill him. But there is the possibility that multiples can kill off little. Whoa! Almost killing Teemo from half with just the ultimate. If he'd ran into that mushroom, he would have gone down. Kennen also very close from the mushroom. It brought him very low after the Lux ulti. Wukong's choosing to spin to win, seeing if he can get some pop-up. It's not looking like it, though. Man, these hiccups are killing me, guys. I'm trying to hold my breath, and the commentating happens, and it's just not working for me. Oh, Katarina's looking to do damage. There's the ulti. She's popped out of the ulti, but she still managed to pick up the kill on Lux. We have Mundo going in there. Teemo's looking like he might go down with the Rammus ulti coming in. Teemo does go down through the Rammus AoE after the star call. Teemo is taken out by Katarina. Katarina needs to get out of there. Mundo is doing what his job. While the Dark Binding comes in into the ultimate, into the pool. Katarina does come in with the Shunpo Dagger Sinister. The ulti should be back off of cooldown right now. She's sitting at 611 AP. That is a crazy amount. Her Nasus buff, Nashor buff, not Nasus, he's another champion, not a buff. Their Nashor buff is gone, which means that 611 is actually just her item. She does have a Zhonya's. Pro plays can be made with Zhonya's. I don't think we're going to see it at this level of play in particular. Wukong is looking to see if he can't defend this. Her spell vamp right now, if we had a Woda on this team, this would be pretty ridiculous. A Woda would not be a bad idea with a Katarina, a Kennen, and a Morgana. She already has passive spell vamp, and Mundo does get taken out by the Wukong. Rammus is looking for blood. He manages to get the taunt. He actually pulls Katarina back in. Katarina will go down to the tower. Rammus is looking to get some more kills out of the deal. He's going to taunt. He actually cancels the recall on Morgana, and Kennen will lightning rush away. Morgana's going to try to semi-juke the Rammus. His ball will end, but he's not going to be able to catch her. She's too far through the minion wave, but he might still have a chance. But the Dark Binding does go down. She's a little low on mana. Rammus could still catch up to her, but he chooses not to and farms minions instead and tries to push the lane up. Teemo is actually back, so this is currently still a 5v5. Here comes... Oh, man. This Kennen has not had the greatest game. He has some really poor decisions. Really bad farm. That's unheard of as Kennen. Farming on him is very, very easy. At least in my opinion. This is a very long match. I may end up cutting some of this for editing purposes, but I doubt it. I like to have my videos full. And this whole game has been pretty exciting. I might cut out some of the passive farming moments. Maybe just cut to the team fights. We haven't had a lot of them, but there have been quite a few passive farms. I try not to cut out of many of the kills. if I can help it. Morgana doesn't have taken out Teemo from full. That ulti is really strong, really good damage, and she actually does have pretty decent AP. You have pretty much 500 AP, 499. She's sitting pretty right now. 719 on Katarina. That is quite honestly really, really, really high. 700 AP it's unheard of on most normal AP champions. I don't know what she's actually going to build that second Needless. She could build another Rabadons. They do stack. No, the passive doesn't stack, I mean, but it's 140 AP. That's a lot. That's a lot of AP. That'll actually boost her to over 750. 60 more AP on that. Should be at 779. Almost 800. Pretty sure yeah. See that damage, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I'm talking about right there. Blue team actually takes Baron. I apologize, I've been slacking. But, I need to go down here. Yeah, blue team does actually take Baron. That's pretty heavy. That's some pretty crazy stuff right there. That could turn this tide. The tide of this battle. Purple Teemo is just ghosting for no reason, I think. I think he was looking to maybe try to steal the Baron. If he gets caught right here, which he's probably going to be, he will die. Lux would only have to light binding if he stealthed into a bat. Wow, damage is pretty high. She can more than half shot him right now, sitting at 416. Actually missing it. Wukong does manage to take out Katarina, but Katarina will be avenged by her friendly Morgana. Mundo has currently got a Thornmail. That'll help out a lot. He's got really good HP, 4.7k, really high HP, really good resistances. Mundo's actually sitting at not the best possible build, but it's a very, very well done build. His Spirit Visage it helps out tremendously in teamfights. He must have over 100, well over 100 health regen, just from his this right here. His Spirit Visage ups his passive, and these two Warmogs, that's 80 health regen by itself. This right here is 40 health regen. Just these two items without any actual stacking bonuses, it's over 100. He is well over 100 regen. Probably almost in the twos. But purple team was pushing, and blue team looks like they might actually push to win here. Purple team will make it back in time if they all just recall right now. They'll make it back, no problem. But the inhibitor does go down, which means that the mid lane does need to be defended now. The super minions will spawn again. They will be spawning on the next wave. They will start coming up. Purple wave here, getting very big. Let's see if we're well, apparently this this Soraka is a big fan of stacking. Two Shurelya's and two Abyssal Scepters. They don't stack Soraka, I promise. I honestly think she thinks they stack. I really do think she thinks that they stack, which is pretty sad. But as I said before, we don't. I'm not quite sure in the elo range of this game. I'm saying it's low elo, as that kind of shows. That's not even to constitute trolling, and that's going to go straight into an ultimate. He chooses to cancel it. There's some AoE damage going down. Wukong is actually taken out immediately by the purple team. His team, blue team, did not advance, but they should have. Kennen was taken out by the Teemo. That light binding took him down, rooted him in place. Rammus is looking for some blood here. Katarina is kind of chilling at the back. She's waiting for that moment when they all kind of group up and all the CC is gone, and someone else initiates it. She's going in. Lots of the damage. She's gonna go down to the Lux ulti though. See how fast that came back up? Yeah, it's only a 29-second cooldown. Not even 30 anymore. I mean it's pretty ridiculous. Right there, Morgana's gonna look to do some damage. Mundo's gonna come in and assist. He's going to get light binding, but he can probably hit the last cleaver. All the spell immunity of the world that he's going to need. He doesn't even kill her with a cleaver. He actually just kills her with the burning agony. Rammus is going to come back up. He's probably going to try to flash out. No, he's just going to try to walk out of there, but he's not going to make it. Ooh, barely missing Teemo with that ultimate of hers. That'll be back up, but Teemo doesn't get back to base, and he'll actually have a second chance at that. He does choose to go back, so she will not get him. And she chooses to go back as well, just by walking too far away out of range. The ulti range is from where she's standing from this tower to about right here. It's really good range. In my opinion, she should have a global laser. I mean, that would be, I don't know, it'd be kind of a crazy animation to see just this giant beam of light flying across the whole map and instantaneous. It would be really too strong, in my opinion. I'd love to see it, but it would honestly be too strong. It would just be too powerful because it's an instantaneous ultimate. It has a line of where it's going to go, and then boom, damage. That's far too much. Any of the actual ultimates that are global have a travel time, which means it takes a skill. It's a skill shot. It takes kind of like, you got to think, all right, this person's going this fast. Can I hit him if I throw it here? That kind of thing. Wukong is definitely starting to hurt. Getting full built there. Teemo is going to eat into him, though. That blinding dart is really going to tear into him. His attack speed on Teemo is actually almost max. He's 0.2 away from maxing his attack speed, which means he attacks twice every second. It's pretty high. I'm trying to get rid of these hiccups. Got some water here. Apologies if you hear the slurping sound on the microphone. I'm not sure what Teemo is going to accomplish with that, but I think he might have just been placing some mushrooms and didn't expect the team to be there. Morgana does officially have her Deathfire. That would make her full built. Teemo takes out Kennen. Looks like Mundo is going to go down right there. No, there he goes. Katarina is not going to kill. Soraka. Oh wait, I am mistaken. She does manage to kill Soraka, but she will go down to the tower. Which it's kind of good game at that point, but I don't think they're going to be able to push with a 4-for-1 exchange. They're not. Sorry about that. They're not capitalizing on the push. They really aren't. They kind of need to just power through this. Like, there we go. Not really necessary on pushing the minions. I think Rammus is full built, or pretty damn close. 348 armor not in his power ball, which, by the way, his defensive ball curl actually gives him 120 of magic and armor, which means he will be sitting at 460, almost 500 armor, which, to be honest, I really don't see the tower hurting him at all. And by the way, super minions do have 50% damage. I forgot it's not 75, as I said in a previous video. I was mistaken. It is 50% reduced. But look at that damage. He took maybe 7 tower shots right there. Not quite that many. But the damage, it's not even noticeable. Now the AP, on the other hand, he only has 290, which is still a lot of MR. End it, please. Katarina really wants to go home, apparently. She's tired of playing with these guys. They did end up managing to take out one, but the inhibitor respawn, which saves them time, but the top one's going to go down to Wukong. Wukong is going to take it out. His Q, Crushing Blow, actually does work on towers and inhibitors and the Nexus, which is this big, swirly purple thing right here. There's a blue on the other end of the map, but I'm not going to go down there. Oof, heavy damage going down. Kennen will manage to survive. Wukong will be taken out by the Katarina. Wukong does manage to purchase his Warmog's armor, as does Rammus. We're seeing kind of a poke battle right now, a split pushing by the blue team, but that Teemo Mushroom will take out most of these minions along with the Morgana's Tormented Soil. Trying to take out this super minion is a challenge. I mean, they have 5,300 AP. No magic resist, though. They actually have negative 30 magic resist, which means AP characters are best at taking them out, or anything that deals really high magic damage. 5,300 AP, or HP, is nothing to snuff at. Mundo is sitting at 4,800. He's actually only 500 behind the super minions, but his armor and magic resist are much higher, making him actually having more effective health. We'll get over it in effective health and all that technical stuff in other videos when I cover in-depth champions and in-depth how a league is played and the metas and all that noise. I'll cover top-tier champions, because I know looking up the top-tier champions it's a pain. It's hard to find if you don't know where to look. So looking it up is probably the best decision. Now Wukong actually opts out the Trinity Force for double Bloodthirster, which I don't agree with at all. Makes his damage very high. He's actually going to add 40 more damage, so 80 more attack damage means he'd be over 400. It's pretty. That's going to be high. 40 damage each 80. He's going to be at sitting at 448 AD. That's going to be really ridiculous. I mean, just saying, that's a lot of AD. He might even be. I don't really know what to say to that. The Lux ulti going out. I don't know what she was aiming for, but she hit somebody, I think. She hit Mundo. Doesn't matter, Mundo's going to regen that back almost instantly. Look at that, he's already back at full. I'll watch the damage. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for the high burst, he would regen that all back. I think his ultimate actually ran out right there. But Rammus is going to get kills here. They're looking for blood. Kennen actually might die to the super minion. Nope, he cancels the auto attack. Aggroing back to these minions have saved his life. If Lux was in range, her ult is up in 3 seconds. And there goes the inhibitor. They're going to take out this tower right here, and they're probably going to take out the inhibitor. This is what we're going to call some GGs. Don't know if we're going to have a surrender vote, or they're actually going to let them finish it. Letting them finish it, by the way, does actually give more AP. You can test that on me if you really want to, but I do know it gives more AP, or IP. Morgana will end up taking out Wukong. Wukong to take out Katarina. Boom, there's some damage. That Teemo, about half shot. Not quite as much. She breaks all of hers, but the Rammus one on the chains for her ultimate. It's a 5-man chain. If they all stay when the chain breaks, it's basically not breaks on range, but breaks as the spell ends. It's a stun along with more damage. And with a lot of AP, that's actually quite a bit of damage. Like you can see right there, it's 325 plus 486 and 325 plus 486. So it's effectively at 650 damage plus 900. So, hey, there we go. There's the GG. I don't know. Purple team was winning. They kind of didn't push like they should have. They lost all their towers. They passively played. They didn't farm. They farmed far too much. Passive play, not enough going on to really matter. It was really just it was bad item choices on some characters, like Soraka still holding the questionable doubles of both the double Zhonya's. It's not the worst decision for Katarina, but she could have picked maybe a defensive item, maybe even a, I don't know. She's got a Zhonya's, Rabadon's, Hextech, and a Riley's. She could have picked a Guardian Angel as her 6th item. Wouldn't have been a bad choice. Keeps her survivable. She comes back up after the animation. She'll actually have her cooldowns back, at least minus her ultimate. But if she had enough of AP, which she did, over 700, minus that second Zhonya's, which I believe actually bumped her into the 8. Nope, 746. I apologize. Pretty close to being 800 though. 60 away. That's not much. It's not bad. At 700-ish, 600-ish range of AP, you don't have to worry about anything. It's a lot of damage really quickly. The ultimate, all they have to do is kind of just sit there, and they're gonna die because there's nothing you can do. She has Rileys, which means you're slowed. Every dagger that hits you slows. Death Lotus, it's a stupid ultimate. It's stupid overpowered. Her passive makes it worse because if she gets two kills or an assist and a kill, she basically resets her ultimate, and it gets pretty bad after that because that's a double ult, and that's basically 2 times that damage effectively in a team fight. No one really survives after that, and the cooldown doesn't really get refreshed more than once, maybe even twice, for like maybe the 5th person didn't quite die and then they kill him. And to be honest here, I'm getting a little off topic. The blue team had a little bit of a rough start. They did end up winning. Kind of an early game feed for top lane, the Mundo and the Katarina. Mundo actually started doing good later. He built his armor far too late in the game. He should have built it a little bit sooner. Katarina did fine. She was properly playing Katarina. The Morgana could have done better. Kennen was actually just kind of useless. Teemo DC'd so much that he was literally just feeding those 12 kills, or deaths on his part. That was all to these guys, mostly to Wukong, mostly to the other Teemo. And I'm not gonna lie, 5 of those Teemo kills were mushroom kills, which is pretty cool to have in a game. So all in all, the kills were tied. The gold advantage was in favor of the blue team. Sold in the 8 towers that the purple team didn't have. The farms pretty even, so we can't really judge them on that. But anyway, remember, comment on the videos. Tell me what I need to do better. I want to see if that video was any better. I feel like I did a little more energy. I couldn't really commentate that well because there wasn't a lot going on. Not a lot of team fight presence. It was an hour game. I will have to edit a little bit out. I'll probably edit some of the passiveness out and probably just focus on the main team fights. I might be able to get it under an hour. I'm not sure. I'd like to keep my videos at about 45 minutes, so see if I can actually trim 15 minutes of coverage out. See how that works. Anyway, this is a different game. Kind of seeing how the game can turn, even if you are losing in kills. It can turn around. It can change. No one's perfect. If you don't push your advantage, you're going to lose. Purple team definitely didn't push their advantage. They had a huge advantage early, lost it, and did not push it back. So what I need you guys to do is to not let this happen. If you have an advantage, try to press the advantage. Try to pressure the enemy team into possibly making mistakes. Don't play stupid. Don't do over-aggressive things. Don't do overly zealous things to the point to where you're going to start losing team fights, like the purple team. They chose odd because they were team fights because they were winning. They were winning fights before. They were winning in damage, but then they chose really bad options to jump into the fray. We don't want that. That's unnecessary. So what I need you to do is to not have that happen. I will be doing video coverage of how to play League, in-depth League, tips and tricks, all that good stuff, how armor magic resist works, how effective HP, how the AP kind of needs to be cease and desist. You need how item build. I will go over every champion in the game eventually. It's going to be a while because they keep coming out with new ones. But I will cover PvE coverage on skins you may want to see, maybe a skin spotlight kind of deal. That would be a goal in my near future. But that's all up to you guys, of course, the viewers. And you have to comment and tell me if you want to see those things. I'll throw a couple up as maybe pilot episodes, if you will. And if you like them, comment on them, rate them, and always tell me if we need to do more like this, if I need to change maybe a little something, if I'm doing something quite right. In this game, I felt like I had a little bit more energy. Tell me if I did or not. I'd like to know. That's all I have for you. And this is the Pieman. And remember, I'm watching.